Hello everyone, this is Jose the Real Life Kudakadian. I'm talking a little bit quieter because I got family sleeping everywhere because I'm at a different family member's house. Anyway, what I want to talk to y'all about is how universe and consciousness. Now some say the universe is all conscious, which also stems from the spiritual belief with animists who believe that all parts of the universe were conscious and had like a spirit behind it that made it, that gave it that driving life force to be alive. Basically, just like ancient animists who, saw that parts of the world was alive just like themselves. But let's talk about this. Some atheists would say otherwise, who would say possibly like it's an unconscious reality, it's an unconscious reality, but you can't really fully say that as an atheist. Here's why. So, as an atheist myself, I understand science, and all that. And I understand, like, okay, we are, on this planet, we have carbon-based life forms in the form of, animals, plants, bacteria, and eukaryotic and other forms of cell life. Basically, it's all carbon-based because we see that there's carbon in all these life forms that we study. However, with the coming age of AI, humans are showing that consciousness can also be extended to other forms of elements that are combined together to form another type of life form that can observe its environment, be aware of its environment, observe it, study it, and adapt accordingly. And I mean, it's not effective. This hasn't been made efficient yet. Very effective yet for AI. But as we keep progressing AI to make it more like humans, and it'll eventually be a whole another life form that can just experience the universe in its own way, which is it's part of the universe. So we get into all that though. But with coming age of AI, it's showing that we can extend consciousness into other forms of elements. So if you can extend consciousness to other forms of elements, could it be possible due to random factor, just like how us life forms were created by random factor? I'm speaking to atheists on this. It could be possible that by us being life forms created by random factors, that were just happened to, where the conditions just happen to be able to create life forms. It's possible that in other areas, could this have happened with other elements, other elements, or the same elements? So we can't really fully, if it is possible, we can't really fully say that the universe is majority unconscious, because we are pieces of the universe ourselves that are conscious. AI is about to be another piece of the universe that's going to be conscious. So, likely, there is a possibility that other forms of consciousness, where the universe is conscious, exists in other parts of the universe. And it's like we can't really say that it's a full majority unconscious reality. It's probably, it is actually could be possibly balanced. We don't know how far consciousness can be extended to other elements. With this now knowledge that we have with AI and making it conscious. But firstly, we can see that a lot of this consciousness happens from the ability to manipulate electricity to trick. Because believe it or not, our cells run electricity through them to trigger certain reactions, as well as our brain definitely uses a lot of electricity for neuron firing and all that to trigger reactions. It's all but it's chemicals that create electrical energy for ourselves. But with AI, it's just 100% straight electrical energy. But it's chemicals that do allow that electricity patterns to occur and happen more effectively and speed up, and not just electricity, other little smaller smaller quantum particles that make it more effective to make the system run more faster and all that, which is like I heard this little thing called qubits. They they also help, like little particles that help the system run a little bit efficiently. It's just that now they're a little bit unstable. We can't really observe them because when we shine light on them, that kind of messes up their pattern. So, and that's the only way we're able to see things, by shining light on it. But we can also see the effects of things too. So probably be better to just observe the effects rather than try to observe the particle itself, as the particle being observed disturbs the pattern. But then again, try and observe the effects probably disturbs the pattern. But we're never going to get to that. All I know is that other particles combine together to whether atoms and elements and then compounds. We can extend that consciousness. The consciousness can possibly be extended. We don't know how far the extent of consciousness can be extended to other elements. We don't know. Essentially, just don't know. And this is where we can get into like that animists, ancient animists, who believed that everything was conscious like them. They weren't 100%. We can't say they're 100% right. But they weren't necessarily wrong either. So the basis of that led to spiritualism, which then led to theism, is likely not fully incorrect. But as humans got creative with those ideals, is that the creativity that led to the ideas, again, might not exactly be correct, but it's possible that areas of the universe are conscious, while some of the areas are not. It's a little bit, could be balanced, probably not balanced. We don't really know. But it's likely that it exists where some areas are conscious, the universe is conscious, and some areas of the universe is not. And this is how, this video is not going to be very long. Okay, but yeah, so pantheists could be right, could be the whole entire universe, but not really. But we don't really know that for sure. We can't say that's a fact. I don't know if it's the whole entire universe. I can grab something like this and be like, this isn't conscious. You know what I'm saying? Because simply it's not designed to manipulate electrical energy, which I know helps with consciousness. But then again, what other particles besides electrical energy can help with consciousness? Like can positrons create consciousness, since they're a form of antimatter for electricity? So positrons are like positive. If you don't know what this is, they're positively charged electrons. So positively charged electrons are basically called positrons at that point, because electrons are usually negatively charged. So a positron is basically an antimatter form of an electron. You know what I'm saying? Because if it collides with an electron, they will annihilate each other. So, and then we got other forms of proton. We got proton, like forgot what the antiproton, which is a negatively charged proton. You know what I'm saying? Because protons are usually positively charged, but an antiproton would be negatively charged, which means, and then neutrons. But neutrons are neutral energies, so there wouldn't really be a negative form of a neutron. Of an antimatter form of a neutron. I think they probably can go either way, but at the same time, it's conscious. So what about anti-carbon and all that? Like we have an anti-hydrogen, which is a positron attracted to an antiproton, and the antimatter does the same. What we notice about antimatter is the same. So there's possibility that life forms can form out of antimatter as well. Even though they said there's not that many antimatter here, you know what I'm saying, in the world, because during probably the Big Bang, it was probably an imbalance of matter and antimatter, so it kind of probably wiped out most of the antimatter. But then again, there's still some signs. We still see some reactions between antimatter and regular matter happening. So not really, we really can't really say for sure when it comes to that. And we haven't been everywhere in the universe to really see if anything else is made from antimatter other than matter. You know what I'm saying? Because if all this is made from matter, then likely, I mean, then there shouldn't really be forms of antimatter reform. But yeah, self recycling is something we notice in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Which could play into consciousness, but we don't really know that for sure. Uh, there's some like certain conditions where it's just set where it can just recycle like certain like Mississippi before human interference was able to like recycle the soil back onto the land. Like every time the river would flood, it would take the soil and put the soil that was taken away and put it back onto the land. That was the self-recycling nature of the environment of the Mississippi River and all that. But now that they start putting flood blocks for agriculture and all that in cities, it kind of like ruined that little bit self-recycling ability that it had with the condition. So there are self-recycling conditions that can exist that are not necessarily conscious, but you know. But, so um, then we just get it's possible that fall back. Antimatter can also possibly create consciousness as it acts the same way as regular matter. It's just this antimatter can't physically interact with it because it'll annihilate us. So but who's to say that there isn't some galaxy out there that is mostly contained of antimatter? You know what I'm saying? Mostly made of antimatter. We don't really know. We can't really tell. It's just we're going based off what we see and basically making judgments based off the limited knowledge that we've obtained for ourselves. I say limited knowledge because the knowledge we have is limited. It's grounded here to what we're observing on this planet until we actually physically get out there and extend our knowledge. For right now, what we base out external factors on from inside of the world, like our world, our knowledge can keep going and going. Our knowledge is not really limited to our own planet because we're on our own planet. But when it comes to things outside of our planet, how far is our knowledge is pretty limited because we're trying to base things off of what goes on here, and that leaves room for error. But at least here we can conduct experiments with our own planet that will result in us figuring things out. So some a little bit of that. So we don't really know. We don't really know. Could there be other forms of conscious life forms out there that be experiencing the world as antimatter forms? Could it be? We don't know. Just simply don't know. Knowledge is limited. Knowledge is limited to the basis of where we're at. So we have to work towards to extend our knowledge. So I hope humans are successful in that area. So likely, universe is not fully unconscious. At least it cannot be declared as unconscious. Majority, it can be declared as fully or majority unconscious. To declare it as fully unconscious reality would be ignorant of the life forms on this planet existence, because all the life forms on this planet exist, and we are pieces of the universe, and we're conscious of our reality, but we're also part of that reality. Like we're not separate from that reality; we are part of the reality. So that means our reality is not fully unconscious. You can't say reality is fully unconscious when we're conscious of it. You know what I'm saying? Then majority unconscious with the limited knowledge we have. You can't even say that. Like look at our planet. Our planet is not majority unconscious. We have so much. Look how much life form it is around on this planet with plants, animals, bacteria. Look. Just looking at that itself just shows that, or even our own planet is not majority unconscious. We're made from the elements of this planet, and we're conscious. So the majority of our own planet, like we're all over this planet. All life form is all over this planet, and it's conscious. Same could go for any other area that we haven't explored yet or been to. Could be very much likely consciousness. So we'll see in due time. But until then, keep your mind open.